you don't know about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like when you come in, so you can't just come in and act like a know-it-all. You have to come in humble and as a student. I don't know everything. Breaking news. I don't. Rashad Milligan don't know anything.
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, gang? What's up, gang? What's up, gang? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the Road to 5K subs. If you're new to the channel, yeah, man. So much has happened. So much has happened that I don't even know where to start. As you see, I'm still in a hotel room. So I've been out of town these past 2 weeks, and stuff is starting to crash, guys, but I promise you it's going to be back on track. I promise y'all it's going to get back on track soon. But, just a little preview of everything going on and stuff like that. I will say, tonight, backstory of things that happened. Like, tonight was a great example. So, like I said, I'm on my this is a second trip, different trip from last week's trip. So, it's a second trip and things like that. It's the end of the week. 2 weeks I haven't uploaded. And, you guys have still kind of like stayed around and stuff. So I appreciate that. So 2 weeks, that's where I'm going. So at a lot of these things, at these events, like it's like great networking opportunities to like follow people on Instagram. And, I'm always around like these kind of like big influencers and stuff like that, like numbers wise and everything. And they're cool people. A lot of time I don't know who they are because like I'm not on Instagram. so it's kind of like, it's funny in that aspect. But I say all this to say, re-downloaded Instagram because this time, like, although I'm like usually play the cool role of like, I'm not going to force a Instagram follow or a look or a shout out or do because that's forced. And what I'm saying, like, I kind of want to get things like organic as possible and not force anything. You almost have to like put yourself out and do put your pride to the side and do like a kind of, put your pride to the side and just ask. You know what I'm saying? Closed mouths don't get fed. And I think that goes even beyond just like building a platform. It goes into asking for money from corporations and businesses and things like that, like to invest in you and your brand and or your thing, your company, whatever the case might be. And so anybody who might be dealing with that of just like, like I don't want to look thirsty or lame or boom boom boom. I think you have to sometimes like cross that line and get uncomfortable, and don't be afraid to look lame or thirsty for something that's going to help you get ahead. I say all that to say I re-downloaded Instagram tonight for the first time, like while I was actually there at the thing. And so I'm like following people and I'm like, hey, I just followed you. Like people, because they aren't going to see it, they just look at their notifications because they have like 100 notifications every second. So I'm like, hey, I followed you. And I say all that to say, once I downloaded the app, I spent like the past hour, instead of doing this video, like the past 30 minutes of just scrolling and like liking my friend's stuff, and then just pretty much just seeing what was going on a timeline, which is literally the reason why I always delete it and stay off Instagram. So necessary evils, I guess, in this world of social media. Let's get into it. I guess the first thing we can do is this one gal right here. And what this means, man. I'm not going to play it because I don't want to get copyrighted. But as you guys have seen the news, I'm sure by now, especially if you are fans of the UConn Huskies, during senior night tonight at UConn in Storrs, Connecticut, Paige didn't announce her announcement of what she was going to do with her future. Like, was this it? Things of that nature. Like, we didn't know. So she goes up there as she gives her speech, and I guess at the end of it, she goes, I just want y'all to know that this ain't my last senior night speech. So with that being said, she insinuated that she was coming back for a fifth year. She has that fifth year eligibility because of COVID. And, with her injuries, she essentially missed like 2.5 seasons. This was like her first season back. And even now she was like a lot of times still trying to get her legs back under her, as you can see. And, she still has like a lot of the tendencies, just speaking to UConn fans. This is going from what UConn fans are telling me and what I'm seeing as well from the games that I'm watching. And yes, I have been watching games. Thank you so much for holding me accountable, subscriber base. I have been watching games. I've been doing my homework. I watched what was the last game I watched? I just watched the UConn, what game was that? I watched the South Carolina game, but I watched another game. The Notre Dame game. I watched the game against Notre Dame too, the one. And anyways, I say all this to say, from what I've seen, and what the UConn fans are telling me, I think it's true. I think it's a lot of the things that we kind of saw from Paige her freshman year that she might have struggled with, of Paige can do everything on the court, and she's so efficient and she's so intelligent, and her IQ is extremely high. And that could be her positive and also can be her negative, because the negative sense, she just is always making the right play and is always looking for the right play. And sometimes, as backwards as it sounds, this is like the LeBron James syndrome, right? You shouldn't always make the right play. Sometimes you should force a shot to try to get yourself going, because if you're having a low-scoring performance against a big team in a big game, you know what I'm saying? Your team needs you to be a scorer that night, especially in a season like this where Caroline Ducharme's out, where, the entire pretty much starting lineup is out, except for you, in those big games against ranked opponents and all of these things, and championship contenders, you need to do that. So I think Aaliyah Edwards is gone. Paige Bueckers is coming back. So LA fans, I'm sorry. LA fans, I know they probably had Paige penciled in at number 2 with Caitlin going number 1. But hey, man, I'm sorry. It just is what it is. You feel me? Maybe better luck next year. You got 3 picks. Do you think they used the last first round pick? I believe is at number 10. The last number 1 pick that they got. Because they got number 8 from Atlanta for Jordan Canada, and Atlanta traded back to 12. So do you think they take at 10 Angel Reese? It's just a thing that I'm thinking about. Does Angel Reese come back herself? Because Paige came back herself. She was the big person. I don't think Caitlin comes back. I don't think Caitlin comes back. But speaking of Caitlin, congratulations on breaking. Oh man, dog! I haven't been here in a long time. Wow. Okay. Congratulations on Caitlin Clark for breaking the all-time NCAA scoring record, breaking Kelsey Plum's scoring record. Salute to Jackie Stiles as well for all that she's done for the sports legend. And salute to Sheryl Swoops. Here we go. So there was a lot of just South Carolina fans and kind of people who have had a track record of being kind of critical, and I don't even want to say overcritical, but just extremely critical of Caitlin Clark. And those fans have pointed out the fact that, when Kelsey Plum broke the record just a few years ago, it didn't make as much noise as this Caitlin Clark one is making. And Caitlin, shout out to Caitlin, she had 49 darn near triple-double, in this record-breaking game, and made beat him so bad and gave him 50 and broke the all-time leading record. Michigan wrote a note to them. I think that's whack. That's besides the point. That's not an original take. Most people are saying that I'm seeing. But I'm back to this Caitlin Clark situation. So yeah, with Caitlin Clark, there's a group of people who have a history of being critical of her, and they're talking about, why didn't Kelsey Plum get this? And so that's their take, right? They have their right to their opinion and everything like that. If you agree with it, cool. If you don't, you don't. There's this thing that Iowa fans and Caitlin Clark fans are doing, and they're in the comments and they're saying, don't be a Sheryl. And, there's the Iowa fan that went to the game that said, don't be a Sheryl. And it's almost like it's becoming, and, you might think this is extreme. I don't care. Like I've said extreme things on here before, and there's comments that disagree with it, whatever. Regardless of what you say, if I'm going to give my opinion, you're going to disagree with it. That's the disclaimer before I say this. You ready for the hot take? It's not a hot take, but it's just it's a risque thing to say. I feel like it's almost gotten to the point where the "don't be a Sheryl" is kind of like a coded slur. Bomb. Now I'm about to get comments in the paragraphs in the comment section telling me how I'm reaching and this and that, and I'm a baiter and stuff like that. Whatever. I think it's become to a point where it's like a coded slur. And getting right off Sheryl Swoopes, because first of all, if you guys don't know, because a lot of y'all probably don't know, but a few months ago, Sheryl Swoopes was went viral at my day job, because we ran a story on what she said on Gilbert Arenas show, same podcast. I believe she was talking about Caitlin Clark about Angel Reese. She said, I don't know, Angel's, she's talented and everything like that. I wish her the best in her future. However, she's got to work on that jumper. She don't have the size. She can't just outbig everybody down low on the block. A lot of the bigs and the pros going to be bigger than her. So she got to work on that jumper. She got to do this. She has these type of holes in her game, and she needs to fix them to go to the league, or before she goes to the league, or she could just be a run-of-the-mill rotational player. She said some form of that. Pretty much just like Angel Reese isn't going to be a star immediately in the league. And I'm not wishing bad on her. I'm just saying the league is very talented, and I think a lot of people are underestimating the league, because if you just got into women's basketball and you're watching, your introduction was this and the Final Four and the Elite Eight and the championship game last year, then you don't quite understand the brevity and how talented the WNBA is, and how much depth there is and how powerful the 144 is. That's pretty much what she said. She went viral for saying that she tried to clarify her comments in. All right, cool. That was the first time. So there's a lot of people from this Caitlin Clark situation who's not even acknowledging that. So she pretty much said the same thing with Caitlin Clark. She said, Caitlin Clark, mad talented. I wish her the best. I think she's going to have a great long career in the WNBA. However, a lot of the things she's doing in college won't fly in the W. Now, what she's pretty much saying is you're not going to be able to have the ball in your hands the entire game and go behind your back and no-look passes and have the opportunities and the freedom and the green light that she has at Iowa, where she can, make a risque pass, a tough bounce pass in a tight window, because, she's completed that pass a lot of times before successfully. But if you throw it this time, the bounce pass and it just bounces out of bounds, or you throw the no look or behind the back and, it's a turnover. You do that 2-3 times in a row, and then you have, your moments where you do the between the legs side step from the logo or from the volleyball line, and it's an air ball. You do that 2-3 times. It's not a next play. It's you do that 2-3 times, and you do a couple of them fancy passes, and they're just air turnovers 2-3 times. You're going on the bench. You're going on the bench, and we're playing. Who has the number one pick? Indiana, and we're playing. I don't want to say Kelsey. They didn't trade Kelsey. Tiffany got traded. I'm sorry, Mitchell's got y'all mixed up. But let me look at the. We'll play Erica Wheeler. Say Erica Wheeler comes back next season. Yes. We will sit you down and just play Erica Wheeler. You know what I mean? So that's just an example of it. I definitely think, Lexi Brown kind of came back and said, well, when you're as box office as Caitlin Clark, I think the rules can be changed and she can be given that green light, because we've seen what she's done with that green light in college, which I think is a great counterpoint to it. But, I don't think what Sheryl Swoopes said was just a reach or anything out of the ordinary at all. It's you're speaking of it's a lot of people that just, I feel don't have knowledge of the game. And not of the game just in general, but specifically the WNBA, the history of it, and the current talent level. Just the way that college has progressed and gotten better, so has the pros. News flash, so has the pros. So has the pros gotten better. So, you can't just say that. Of just she can do it. You can't call Sheryl freaking Swoopes a hater for saying that, for saying someone's not going to dominate their very first week. And like, you know what I'm saying? Who has dominated their first week? Candace Parker. Exactly. Which goes back to the whole, who's the greatest college player ever? And to call Caitlin Clark the college GOAT, like other fans have said, when she hasn't even won a championship, a national championship, a national title. And come on now, like, we've been talking about Candace Parker winning the national championship, going number one the same week, and then going on to win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same. Like, she did that in the span of like 4 months, then went to the Olympics. You know, I mean, well, Olympics. But, you know, for her to have the run she had is and never be duplicated again. And that's like, and that's commendable. That's something that's, you know, like, oh, snap, we have to do this for Candace. And, you know, you also, and she did it, when she did that, the last, I had to make sure that I was right. I'm just speaking out my neck. When she won that last one in 08, that was her back-to-back, you know what I mean? So much like kind of what Florida was doing on the men's side at the time, that's what Candace was doing on the women's side in college. And, you know, so to do that, then go straight into it, for Maya Moore to do what she did at UConn, you know what I mean, darn near undefeated the whole way. Breanna Stewart to do what she did at UConn, darn near undefeated the whole way, to the point where we were all saying, you know, the casual watchers, UConn is just going to win. UConn winning 100 games in a row. UConn is just going to win. I don't even know why I should watch. UConn's going to win. That's the type of dominance that we're coming from those two players. And for us to just kind of like skip that of the history that we've seen in the past decade and in the past 2 decades, and just kind of overtake that. Sheryl Swoopes had, speaking of, Sheryl Swoopes herself had like, what, 47 points in the championship game? Shout out to Tommy. Tommy is, you know, always the one that's educated me on that. So, you know what I mean? So for us to just like overlook all of that and just declare her the GOAT because we don't know our history and we don't study and we don't watch. It's like, say you've been living in a house, right, for 2 years. You know your routine. Excuse me. You know your routine. You go in, take your shoes off at the door. You walk in, might sit on the couch for a little bit, make you a little sandwich, turn on Netflix, turn on YouTube, in that order, every single day when you come home, right? Then once you eat your sandwich, watch some YouTube, and you get comfortable enough before you go to bed, shower, you get up and you wash your dishes and you put up the dishes every single time in that order. Say you've been doing that for 2 years, right? Then you have, say, like a coworker or somebody who is like kind of like just like stopping by your crib, right, for a little quick time. They got some time in between, or their car might be broke down and you have to give them a ride, and you're like, okay, I can't do it right now. Give me an hour, stop by my spot. They come in your spot, walk in, keep their shoes on, walk onto the carpet, sit on the couch, put their feet up on the couch, ask you if you got something to drink, if you got some food, don't wash the dishes after they eat. Don't offer to help to wash the dishes after they eat for free at your crib. Don't, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of the things that I'm trying to say that you do that people, someone that don't know how any of the stuff that you do runs, or the history of it, or the background, or even care to notice, be like, man, this is the best way to, I don't know, say Netflix, right? They put on Netflix, and they like, Netflix is the best way to unwind here, right? And you like, Joker, this is my house, and I unwind watching YouTube on the TV. And then y'all go back and forth like that. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with this point, but you get the point I'm trying to say. You don't know about this stuff. You know what I mean? Like when you come in, so you can't just come in and act like a know-it-all. You have to come in humble and as a student. I don't know everything. Breaking news. Rashad Milligan don't know anything. He don't know everything. You know what I mean? So it's like, so when someone comes up to me and wants to educate me and like, yo, or if I'm going back and doing the research myself and like, dang, so all right, Caitlin had 41 in this game, but Sheryl Swoopes had 47 in the 90s in the time of different defense and boo boo boo, do do do, in the championship game and won that mug. You know what I mean? Like all of these things. I say all of these things to say. What am I saying here? Just learn your history, bro. Learn your history. Do the homework. Sit down and watch the games. You know, talk to the people who've been watching the game for decades. You know, do all this before you make these statements of the GOAT. It reminds me of I want to react to Flight's 100 greatest players of all time list, by the way. But you know, like something has been like kind of making its rounds on Instagram of me. You know, they asked me in my top players list, and y'all know, I know a lot of y'all know my top NBA players all time list, but it's something like Jordan, Kareem, Wilt, Bill Russell, Tim Duncan or Kobe Bryant, and then LeBron, and then Bird, Magic, and Shaq, Akeem Olajuwon, Oscar Robertson, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, and then at 15, did I say Oscar Robertson already? I already said Oscar Robertson. At 15, I got 15 kind of as a toss-up right now. I don't really have a person right here. Maybe you could say Allen Iverson. But yeah, 15. I say all this to say, and then I got Dominique in my top 25. Dominique, if you're watching this, you my dog, for sure. But yes, where was I going? Where was I going with this? I say all this to say, you know, people like trip out over that list because like LeBron is number 7, and it's like, you got LeBron 7, and this is that, this list bogus, this list blah blah blah. You ain't even watch these people. Okay, if we talking about the greatest of all time, we're not talking about the greatest of our time. We're not talking about the greatest of ever since you can remember, ever since you gained consciousness. That don't make sense. That's just the greatest of the last 20 years. Right? At that point, you're just saying of all time. It's like saying world champion. And it's just the champion of the United States. But, yeah, man, like, you can't come into something only knowing the past 2-3 years of something and then saying, this is the greatest of all time of this thing. Because you don't know the all-time thing. You just know the greatest of the past 3-4 years. That's it. That's all I want to say, man. So yeah, respect Sheryl Swoopes, respect black women, protect black women. It's the end of Black History Month. We're going into Women's History Month. Shout out to all the women. Shout out to Caitlin Clark. Shout out to Sabrina Ionescu going against Steph Curry tomorrow night. That's going to be spicy hot. Who y'all got? Man, y'all seen the thing I uploaded with Rafiq, my short and stuff, talking to Ari Chambers. Dang, I think I ain't gonna lie, it's hard to pick against Steph, man. It's hard to pick against Steph, you know what I mean? So I got Steph in it. But if Sabrina wins, salute to her. Shout out, yeah. I guess I could wrap this up because we're already nearing 30 minutes. I want to wrap this up just saluting and shouting out Kennedy Carter, Hollywood Carter for getting back into the league. She's with the Chicago Sky. I want to salute Kaiser Gondrajic for getting a deal as well, getting back in the league with the Chicago Sky. She's had a drama-filled offseason, won't it? I want to salute, who else do I want to salute? Those are the people I want to salute. NECA, I never even talked about NECA on this channel, bro. But I told y'all what was going on. Remember when I built that team over there in Seattle? Them jokers, man, let me tell you, man. The GNs be watching the channel, man. Let me get a slice of that check. Because what I said Dream need to drive Leticia, me here, and Haley Jones, and they did. I said the Dream need to drive Nas Hillman, and they did. I said this need to happen, and it happened. I said Seattle Storm. I could see them rebuilding the post-Stewie era like this, building around Jewel Lloyd, the Gold Mamba. I could see them doing that, and what did they do? They went out and did it. So, man, shouts out. Shout out to Kalani Brown. Shouts out to the Dallas Wings. All right, I'm starting to lose consciousness now, y'all. So I'm trying to think of anything else that I want to fit in this video before we get off. Aerial powers, going to a line. I think I already addressed that. Yeah, I already addressed that. Prayers to her mom. She's going through open heart surgery, like brain surgery, I believe. And I've been linking the GoFundMe for that fundraiser in my link for about the past month. So go ahead and support that. What do I want to shout out? Yeah, I think Angel Reese slides to the second round. I think I was about to address that earlier, but then I got sidetracked into another thing. Let me know if you think Angel Reese is going early second round, or if you think she's gonna, I don't know, go higher first round, because there's no Paige now, so you have one less big name, quote unquote, in there. So yeah, we're getting closer to draft time. I think it's gonna be very interesting, and we're closer to March Madness. Football is over. I mean, the NFL is over, so that means March Madness is here around the corner. Conference championships, everything. It's going to be a wild ride. Buckle up. South Carolina blew out UConn. I guess I could talk about that as well without their best player. That's something worth mentioning. I don't think anybody's going to beat South Carolina. How did the Tennessee game? I think Tennessee gave them a run for their money, right? I have to watch that game when I get back to the crib. Let me see. Yeah, I heard they gave them a run for their money. It was 66-55. And I saw the thing of Rakia Jackson, laying on the ground. She had 19-6. Goshly. But she's something serious, ain't she? Yeah. I don't think Raven Johnson had 15 rebounds. Hollywood. Ashlyn Watkins has been playing her butt off, bro. She been playing her butt off. Defensively holding it down for Cardoso, bro. She had 14 and 10 against Tennessee. I say all this to say I don't think anybody's going to beat South Carolina. But it's crazy because the year has been so unpredictable. So to have in an unpredictable year a number one go undefeated would be like crazy, especially a reigning champion. But shout out to Dawn Staley, bro. Because what does that tell you about the program she's running when you got a whole new set of kids and they doing the exact same thing? Crazy. Because them kids, they just been sitting down, red shirt, and pretty much watching from the sideline. How does stuff go? They get in. They figured it out quickly. She got them girls ready. But if you're new to the channel, this is the Road 5K subs. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you for being patient with me. I'm sorry for being gone for 2 weeks. I had to go to the Walmart and get... No, I'm lying. I was just on the road. I've been on the road, still on the road. But I'll be back next week. And hopefully I could, get back some quality, consistent content. Until next time, man, take care of yourselves, man. Wash your hands, for sure. All right, peace out.
I'm out of town, I do not know when I'll be back. Blowing up my phone, I know your baby mama